Welcome back to another episode of that Stay Off My Grass podcast. You got your boy Suns fan Randy in the building, man. And we got the Spurs versus the Suns, man. And this actually had a lot more stuff to break down than I feel like than you would think. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this game was very telling about some things or whatever the case may be. And I'm just gonna just dive straight into it, man. So first things first, what I noticed, obviously there's no campaign tonight. And I appreciated that only off the sense of I feel like I like exploring the options, and I feel like Monty is kind of tightening up the rotations. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of what we might be looking at in the playoffs. And like I was saying, in a couple of games ago or last month or so, like I don't think I mind in the playoffs another point book kind of situations now that we have KD here because I feel like point book we would break him out like when it was necessary. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of like whenever Chris Paul was hurt or whatever, and we couldn't get the best. But I feel like point book and moderation we can handle. You know what I'm saying? Just a game or like a couple of minutes of point book is fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. We've seen, you know what I'm saying, point book get it done from time to time, but I don't think like through a whole playoff or a whole playoff run, like, you know what I'm saying, like we should rely heavily on that point book. But in this scenario with Kevin Durant on the team and just lighting up the load a little bit, so yeah, I feel like I don't mind the point book situation. I don't mind campaign sitting down, especially if he's not going. Because I feel like the thing for campaign to get playoff minutes, and like it'll be crazy because it's like he might actually show up in the playoffs and just don't show up during the season kind of thing. But I feel like the only way I can see campaign really getting some playoff minutes, or the only minutes I want to see of campaign, is if he can be that spark. Like that's all your job is be spark, be energy, come in, knock down a couple of threes, you know what I'm saying? Finish your layups. And that's really all we need. Like, I know asking you to play, making, getting other people involved is just asking just a little bit too much. And I don't really know, like, what he does on the defensive end. Kind of like, because I feel like when him and Javon Carter was here, like, his defense was A1. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like ever since Javon Carter left, it just seemed like, yeah, his just defense just every year just kind of just been declining. Or just ever since he got that contract, it just seemed like campaign just been declining. It's like, all right, I got my money. So it's just like, all right, it is what it is. And I feel like he kind of took his foot off the gas. Granted, he had some injuries and stuff like that. Can't really, you know what I'm saying, stay healthy or like stay healthy for consistently. But like I said, I feel like tonight Monty was going with that point book lineup, and I'm not mad at it at all. I wasn't mad at it. One thing I did notice though, I feel like that 12 minutes of Landry Shamet. I feel like I mean Terrence Ross got 12 minutes too, but I just feel like I don't see what Landry Shamet does, you know what I'm saying, to get these minutes or to just be the first dude off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see what he does. I don't see what he brings defensively because I feel like to me, like when I watch Landry Shamet play and it just like knowing just the history of Monty, it's just to me just watching it, it gives me like favoritism vibes. You know what I'm saying? It gives me teacher pet kind of vibes where it's just like Landry Shamet seemed like the kind of dude like if you play basketball, like you know the coach got that one guy that's like, all right, I want you to demonstrate what we trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he gives me off that vibe guy, like the guy that's just super tight with the coach, but it's really like he not like that. You know what I'm saying? But he'll demonstrate and do everything the coach want him to do. Call, deny, yell, help, and do. You know what I'm saying? Just do the extras. And I just feel like to me that's not enough to warrant. You know what I'm saying? Landry Shamet with these minutes, especially edging out Damian Lee. I feel like Damian Lee held it down. You know what I'm saying? Like even though McHale was bad, Book was out, CP3 wasn't looking at the rim. I feel like Damian Lee held it down when, you know what I'm saying, when the wheels was about to fall off. I feel like Damian Lee, I feel like just off the strength of that alone, I feel like he should have a little bit of rank ahead of Damian Lee. But I don't know what we're going to do. And I feel like Damian Lee defensively ain't that bad either. So it's just like, I would really love an explanation on why Damian Lee is not playing and Landry Shamet just coming straight off of being gone for like 3 straight months, like for real, like no cap, like 3 straight months, and then all of a sudden he just getting all this burn. But hey, I'm not the coach. I don't make the rules. But yeah, like I said, I feel like tonight though, just I feel like the energy wasn't there in the second half, but it was just like because these are one of those kind of games where it's like this is a game where you get hurt in the sense of like you playing too much, you doing too much, and you'll f around and get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was a little bit of a critique I did have for Monty. I feel like D Book played a little bit too long. I feel like just the starters in general just played a little bit too long. 33 minutes from Kevin Durant, and you know what I'm saying, 32 from CP3, and I just feel like like you could have threw the second bench, or you could have threw the bench in there to close this thing out, because we honestly didn't need them to, you know what I'm saying, play the fourth quarter or a lot of the third or whatever the case may be. So it's just like that was my only critique, and we just got to be careful with the stretch, because I know we're trying to get the chemistry at the same time. So it's just like you kind of got to find that balance of like, all right, doing stuff to just, because I feel like we should treat these games, now that we have clinched the fourth seed or at least a playoff spot. We should treat these games, and I feel like tonight too is just as games to just tighten up and work on stuff. Just get the stuff right, just ready for the playoffs. Like the stuff that you would practice in practice, just come out and use it in live game. And one thing that I noticed that I seen that I need to get done is I need Devin Booker to work on that pull up three ball. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that pull up three ball is going to be essential just for us in the future and just for his game and the evolution of his game. So I feel like inside, we know you can get to the hole, we know you can finish around the rim, we know you got the midi, but I feel like that consistent pull up three ball will open it up, just make it a whole lot more easier, because then now teams don't know how to guard you, or like players don't know how to guard you, because it's like everybody knows that you're trying to get to the midi. Everybody knows that you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, get to the hole. So it's just like if you can stretch it out and then have them, like, you know what I'm saying, it just makes it a whole lot more easier. And it's just like you more of a threat out there. So I feel like these last few games, I just want to see a bunch of pull up threes from Devin Booker. I'm not going to lie to you. And we got I'm sorry, we got 10 3-point attempts, and I'm not mad at that at all. He only made two, and like I said, you just got to keep letting it fly. It's time to work on that. You know what I'm saying? And then DeAndre Ayton, he didn't really get too much action. What did he finish with? He finished with 19 and 11 rebounds. Like I said, it's just tightening it up. And one thing I did appreciate that Monty did is the two people that did get subbed the most was Josh Okogie and Torrey Craig, and I feel like I appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I feel like playoff wise, that's just the only substitutions I really want to see is Josh Okogie and sometimes what's it called? And like I said, I feel like I like Terrence Ross. I feel like Terrence Ross can win us a playoff game or a couple playoff games, or can be an X factor off the bench for us, or be the spark guy off the bench. We just got to give him a chance. You know what I'm saying? We just got to give him a chance. I liked what I seen out of CP3, and this is a CP3 that we need moving forward. Not the aggressive CP3, the one that's going to take what the defense give him, shoot the ball when it's there. You know what I'm saying? That can set the table, set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Can manage the game, get everybody everybody involved. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, knocking down the catch and shoots. So this is a Chris Paul I like. You know what I'm saying? This is Chris Paul I like to see. Back to Devin Booker though. Something that was concerning with me about Devin Booker, and it's like, Randy, you always got some concerns. Yes. Something that was concerning to me about Devin Booker that I seen tonight is I don't know if his hand is bothering him or like what's going down. Because it's like I seen him grabbing at his hand, his wrist a lot. I do remember he had surgery on that wrist like a while ago. He finished like kind of inefficient, 9 of 21 tonight. He was driving to the hole a whole lot, which I did not like, because, like I said, I feel like these are the kind of games where you get hurt, especially when you're playing against the Spurs. They out there fouling or whatever they doing or whatever the case may be. So it's just like, yeah, nah, like this is not the time to be driving to the hole and doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like stay in the midi, you know what I'm saying? I get that you're trying to practice that for the playoffs too, on how to get to the hole and how to get that contact, but just not right now. Not right now. It's the time. But like I said, man, today was a good game. We did what we were supposed to do. And like I said, what's that, 7 in a row with KD? KD was out there doing his thug thizzle. And it kind of seemed like he was kind of disengaged after that second half, because it was just like, all right, like, what are we really doing? But he finished with 6 of 14 with 18 points, and that's just what it is. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, with 18 points, yeah. So it's just like, that's just what he do, man. But until next time, dog, peace.